I am not a New Year's resolutions type person. It's just not something I've ever put any stock in. I've never thought it was something that amounted to anything. The vast majority, I don't know the numbers, but the vast majority, it's a lot of people who make New Year's resolutions. Those resolutions last, 2 weeks or something? They call it like a quitter's day or something like that. Quitting day, quitter's day. And it happens like sometime in the middle or last third of January. Because the problem is with resolutions is they are not actually like a lifestyle change. They're not incrementally building up to something that you stick to. It's very similar to if you're living the quote unquote #gym life or anything like that. People will sign up for the gym. And again, this is another big New Year's resolution situation. People will sign up to the gym and they'll go real hardcore on it for a few weeks or a month or something, right? Like, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to gain muscle. I'm going to get strong. I'm going to get sexy, whatever it is. And the problem is they're not like integrating it into their life in a way that it's something that they consistently want to do and stick to for a long period of time. I made this mistake when I first started going to the gym. I think it was about 2019 or something like that. I had signed up. There was a deal. I was like, you know what? I could get in better shape. I would like to look better, feel better, all that kind of stuff, be healthier. And for a while there, I was going multiple times a week. I was like pushing myself and just, I don't know, overdoing it. I had no direction and I was like overdoing it and I was trying to do too much too quickly. And within a couple months, I wasn't going anymore. And I ended up canceling my membership. It took me, I think, almost 2 more years before I actually got back to it, but this time I went back to it with a much different approach. Again, there was another deal to sign up, but at this point, I had just had a breakup, first of all, so that was motivation. I wanted to get, like, better looking and feel good to get back out into the dating market and such, but not much came of that. Anyways, but the fact was I came at it with another approach. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go once a week. I'm going to commit to, no matter what, showing up once a week, right? That was easy. Either on a day off or a day after a shift at work, just go to the gym. And there was nothing like, oh yeah, you got to do this and that and that. I was like, just show up, do some stretching, and maybe just hop on the treadmill. There were times where I literally just hopped on the treadmill and like walked or speed walked for 30 minutes. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. I let myself do as much or little as I felt at the time, whatever I was comfortable with, but I committed to, no matter what, going once a week. That eventually evolved into, over like 3 years or something like that, going 5 times a week. And this was not like pushing myself. This was not like super stringent, or it just became what I wanted to do. Because what happened was I slowly but surely grew into enjoying it and wanting more out of it and feeling good because I did it. It got to a point where even days that I did not feel like going, I still was like, no, I'm going, because I knew the reward was feeling better afterwards, right? There's a long-term game to it. So starting out just committing to that single day a week and saying this is going to be a lifestyle change led to every single day off and all but one day a week. I was like, no, I got to have a single day off at least, or a couple days. Sorry, I was going 5 times a week. Like basically every day off, and then a couple of my days of work going after work. I wanted to be there. Like it felt weird. It felt wrong to not be there. And I had a better routine. I started, because of the activity, because of the exercise and the working out and all that, I started eating better. I started drinking better, more water, more protein, less carbs, etc. And so this just became regular for me. And it's the same thing when it comes to any other thing that you want to accomplish, like when it comes to resolutions and stuff. People need to just learn that they've got to slowly but surely make lifestyle changes. And those lifestyle changes, if they're positive, will begin to reward you in such a way that you want to continue doing them, and they become habit. They become just integrated parts of your life that you don't have to push yourself to do anymore and then burn out on. So on the first segment, we were just talking about things like New Year's resolutions and gym routines and just kind of sticking to lifestyle changes. So when I talk about this, it sounds like almost like a New Year's resolution for content creation for my channel and such. But really it's not. It's really just kind of a look forward to the opportunities that are about to be present and that I think will help improve things here. And I'm really only talking about just because I'm excited. A lot of people want to do channel updates and support me in this way, and I'm not about any of that kind of stuff. I find it honestly kind of cringy in a lot of senses. However, I'm just excited to improve and do something positive with all this going forward. It's been a long process. This channel has been running since 2020, and I tell you what, the journey to where I am now has been drastic. So I'm pretty excited. Within the next couple months, I should be in a position where I can upgrade from a laptop that is at this point like 6 years old and be able to get like a legitimate desktop PC. Because one of the things that I have found, if you don't know this, if you're getting into content creation, if you're getting into streaming or whatever you're doing, start anywhere. Start with a phone. It doesn't matter. So you can literally run an entire content creation brand from a smartphone. However, there are just certain steps that feel logical to take as you go forward, especially if you're doing this style, edited content for YouTube or even the streaming and such. It helps a lot when you have a computer and the other equipment. So those were pieces of equipment and steps that I took a couple years back. But having a graphics processor of any sort helps. My laptop is one. It's actually a really good one from like 6-7 years ago. It's like an HP EliteBook, and at the time it was sold, it was actually a quality laptop. It's got a good Intel processor and all that. But it has like the integrated onboard graphics. So when you're trying to run Streamlabs, when you're trying to run a video editor or any of this kind of stuff, and you're trying to work with these things, it actually has a good amount of RAM as well. I believe it has like 16 gigs of RAM. But regardless, the fact that it does not have a dedicated graphics processor, which all of those applications use, it really does get in the way because it's trying to do everything through the onboard graphics, which are not very good, and the CPU, and it can bog things down. So I don't want to say it's been discouraging. It just kind of slows down the process and the things that I'm capable of doing in certain periods of time and, dealing with. Obviously, if you look at my channel, I've done plenty of live streams in the past. I feel like I just want them to be better. If you look at the content on my channel, I've started trying to do a little bit more editing, and I want all that to be better. So I'm excited within the next couple months, sometime late winter, hopefully early spring, to move forward into possibly getting a desktop. And this won't be anything crazy. It won't be any spectacular, $1,500, $2,000 thing. Just something, and that has a graphics processor of some sort. Just that will be a massive improvement. And between that and the laptop, because the laptop is still very functional, I should be in a decent setup where I can just kind of set up a little studio full time and just not pump out content, but just have more availability. Like when I come home from work or when I'm chilling here and I don't feel like playing a video game, or, football season's about to end as well. So there'll be more time available to just say, oh, look, there's my stuff. It's all set up. It's all available for me to do competent content creation. Between the desktop and the laptop set up there together, being able to work different things. So I'm hoping to get into streaming more at that point and more just edited content in general for my channel, and really kind of hit it hard in 2025. That's like the goal. But again, this is all about consistency. Just like talking about the New Year's resolutions and stuff, I'm not a big fan of that. So it's just saying, look, this is the next step I take. I stick to that and move to the next step. So right now, I am definitely in position where if I dedicate a little bit more time, I'll have more content, I'll have more streaming done. But like I said, in the next couple months, I'm really excited about possibly advancing and just improving overall quality and commitment to what I put out on this channel. Continuing on the subject of content creation and expanding in that area, I've always wanted to do collaborations with other creators. There's a bunch of them that I think are really cool, and I feel weird about just kind of going up to someone, hey, do you want to do this together? Especially right now, with, like I said, with my setup not being like really ideal, there's definitely things that get in the way of it. I did work with a friend of mine. He's got a pretty cool podcast. His name is it's Lessons with Mike. I believe he's inactive at this point. He hasn't really done a lot with it. But it was a fun time. One of the interviews was actually really, really good. Like he did a really good job of leading the interview. But I've always wanted to do, whether it's streams or, edited content, whatever it is, gaming, like game streaming, whatever it is, I've always thought it'd be kind of cool to work with others. Like, you don't want to just kind of do this in a vacuum, like on your own. It's always nice to be able to reach out and collaborate with other creators and such. And so if I am able to improve my equipment and setup, that will definitely be something that I would like to do. I've always been available. I just put it on my profile that I'm available for voiceover work. Because beyond my own content, I'm a trained public speaker. I enjoy doing things the right way when it comes to speech and reading and that whole process. And I enjoy, like I said, the idea of doing a voiceover for something. There was a long time ago, there's a video game channel. I believe it's Video Game History or something like that. And they had put out a call on their Twitter asking for voiceover artists to do a Pokemon documentary. That would be like 2 hours long or something. This was a long time ago. And that's what kind of got me on that subject. I was like, holy crap, I love Pokemon. I like doing voiceovers and speech, that kind of stuff. That would be awesome. And of course, I kind of said, hey, I'm available. I'd like to do that. Never heard from him. But I've always loved the idea of doing that stuff. So I feel like I'll just feel more comfortable reaching out or looking for those opportunities. And if you're somebody that wants to work with someone, just check out my channel, my content, whatever, and let me know. But like I could do those things now. Like I said, I've got a microphone, I have a laptop and a phone and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a lot easier going forward. Not only do I think it'll be easier to like kind of pad the resume with higher quality content and streams, but to be able to, when someone says, oh, we do it like this is how we do our content, how we record or whatever, just being in a position to go, oh, okay, I can do that, So just overall, this episode is a lot about 2025 and, commitment to things and improvement. And so that's the other stage of it too. I would love to work with other people. I feel like, especially in content creation, a lot of what gets people moving forward is the ability to branch out into other communities or other groups of creators and learn from them, or, in some ways get boosted by them or boost their signal, So I will definitely be looking for those opportunities. And 2025 should be a little bit more interesting, fun year when it comes to YouTube and just content creation in general.